The variety and the quality of the Henselite product is what allows me to have the confidence to be at my best on all surfaces.
The Morwell Bowling Club is your place for fun and food. Come and try bowls and make new friends. Have coffee or bring the family for lunch or dinner. The Morwell Bowling Club. Visit us today on Hazelwood Road.
Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to BVTV. This is the Henselite Victorian Open men's singles semi-final action. My name's Tony Shewell. I'm joined by Matt Atobre. Afternoon, Matty.
Afternoon, Tone. Excited about this.
Yeah, absolutely. This one will be a cracker, as we say. Zach Woning representing Mitcham Bowls Club. His opponent today, Chris Young from Shallumbar Golf. This is the first end, so we have just gotten underway. Chris Young sending his second pill down now. He's using a Henselite XG, Matty. In fact, both players using a Henselite XG, both size 4.
That'll
Chris
please
Young,
our sponsors.
It will. Chris Young using the greenish colour, and Zach Woning's is a half, sort of black and purple.
And you will see at the back we've got Rodney Bates there, our marker. Yellow paddles will be for Chris. That'll match the scoreboard here at the venue. And green for Zach.
Of course, another semi-final on at the same time. Traralgon Bowls Club's Vinnie McElwain is up against Ocean Grove's Brad Pavey.
Expect some noise, Tone.
Yeah, there'll be some big hits there, so we'll keep you updated with scores. There is also on their first end. Vinnie McElwain looks to be holding one on the head. And the women's semi-finals, well, they're on as well. Some superb action here. If you happen to be in the area, come on down and have a look.
Talking about superb action, there's Chris Young, drawing shot.
Yeah, he's had some very good victories on the way here, winning on his last bowl
we'll
over J-By Norris. His last bowl over Lilydale's Josh Sanders. So women's semi-final action, Matty, is Anne Draffin from Balan up against Jenny Miller from Leongatha, quasi-local, known as Grandma. And the other semi-final there, Jennifer Holmes from Monbulk up against Carol Fair from Kiwa Valley. Likewise, we will give you scores of those matches.
Zach looking to take shot.
Beautiful draw bowling. This green, quite a quick one, running it around the 17-second mark.
Thought that might have been a toucher there, Tone, but
It's very close. There's a whisker in between it. Rodney Bates, their ITO, one of the best in the business.
yeah,
so.
he was watching it intently.
Yep. And a 4 on the first end. That'll be to Grandma, as we say, which is Jenny Miller
So you
from
want to start a
Leongatha.
semi.
Yeah, up against Anne Draffin, a former winner of the Victorian Open. The singles.
Or can he hold, Tone?
Get through a little gap. Does, but no change. That'll be 1 to Zach Woning. He draws first blood. In the Henselite Victorian Open men's singles semi-finals, here at Morwell Bowls Club. Terrific facility, Matty. 2 greens, undercover.
Yeah, it's amazing. And they've been an amazing host club for us. Everyone walks away commenting on such a great job Morwell have done.
Yep. Excellent crowd in attendance too. All behind us. There's the sort of club rooms, if you like. It is 3 and 4 deep in parts. Some stands down the end where we're heading now, away from the clubhouse. They're relatively full too. Some interested spectators. I can see Tyson Cromie, who did a stellar job in commentary last night, Matty. He'll be watching Brad Pavey with interest.
Looks like Neil Smile. He's got 2 yellow paddles there for Vinnie McElwain. Sounds like the bell. It's on.
Ding the bell behind me, doesn't it? Watch collects the pole. So Zach just a touch short with his first. Take the players a couple of ends to really zero in, but we expect, having seen Zach win his quarter-final match against Cooper Kraus, 21-10 last night from memory.
Jimmy's actually picked him as his winner.
I picked him from about a week out on the stream and said I expected J-By Norris to go 3 in a row, but if
Great
not,
draw
Zach
bowl
Woning
there. Chris Young.
was the smoky. Chris Young will be a formidable opponent though. He's bowling well. 21-19 over Joe By Norris in his quarterfinal.
If you're new to the stream, we're on a needle punch indoor green, running about 16, I reckon, Tone.
Yeah, it could even be a touch quicker. You'll see the bowls just continue to finish.
We've talked
16,
about it
17.
numerous times. It's all about getting line on this green.
Welcome to Heidi. She's watching from Lightning Ridge. All the best to, I understand we've got a decent crowd watching at Mitcham, including Jeff Ellison and a number of others, so all the best to you boys. And girls watching there at Mitcham. Very keen to see how their charger goes. Yeah, fair call, CJ. All of the players left are very much quality. When I say Smokey, it's hard to call him a Smokey, a spot on. He was runner-up in the Victorian Open in 2019. So Smokey's perhaps not the best language from me, but I picked him as being someone who I thought could win it from about a week ago. Happy with my pick so far. Chris Young holding one though.
Thanks, Tony, for the compliment. The live stream has been fantastic. Great innovation for our sport.
Nice to have people watching from Lightning Ridge and Tassie and all over the world, in fact. Chris Young just giving himself a bit of a slap. Didn't want to be short there, but
Quite a few international viewers too, Tone.
we do, of course.
The 10 days.
We had international entrants, Matty, from the USA, from Hong Kong, from Scotland, from all around the world, out here to play in Australia's second biggest tournament. And they're sharing $100,000 prize money. Good afternoon to you, Adam Easton. Hope you're well. Chris Young studying this head, trying to work out how does he get a second shot in there. He's less than an inch off the jack. Zach Woning's bowl sits about 8 inches short of the jack. What's he done, Matty?
Well, he's got great weight. I just don't know if he's going to get down.
Would have been super interesting. It was a bowl narrower. The weight was terrific. So we're locked up, one shot apiece. 2 ends in. Of course, first to 21. These games are time limited in the semi-final, so 2.25 hour time limit. And then when we get into the final, the time limit goes away and we just concentrate on finding the best player.
There's been a number of matches on this green tone that have been timed out due to how quick it is.
It's so fast,
and
isn't
being
it?
a close game. So the players will know about it. They'll get their warning.
10-minute warning. So these matches started slightly ahead of schedule today. Normally we're a bit behind schedule. Chris Young just pots the jack there, so won't be pleased with himself. Likes to go tee to tee, which I don't think is going to bother Zach Wonning too much. But
I like what Zach's doing. This is what I do, Tone.
he's always going to change it up.
Oh, I never give him the same mat.
So he looks right for the 23-metre mark and then comes back. Maybe a yard and a half.
Himself.
Yeah, not much.
No, about a metre.
He's happy to be centimetre perfect with this jack roll.
Great jack roll.
Yep. Well played, Zach Wonning. He's about dead level with a tee, I'd imagine. Chris Young's going to have a quick look just to see. All happy to play. Afternoon, Casper. Nice to have you watching with us, mate. Be very interested in paddles, which is Brad Pavey's score next door. So we'll keep you updated with that. He's currently trailing 1-2. Obviously,
Did
very
see a
early
green
days.
paddle go up.
Yep. Dropped a 2 on the first end, but then picked up a 1. Has control of the mat now. It's Brad Pavey. Next rink over. That's rink 10. We're on rink 9 here for our stream. You'll hear some good applause at times, and that is the local hope, which is Vinnie McElwain.
Yep, looking to make the final.
Plays just down the road at Traralgon, and there are a lot of Traralgonites here. Not sure if that's a word, but it is now.
Oh, good bowls, Chris Young.
Last ball relation to Jack, please.
Chris Young looking good in a freshly laundered uniform, courtesy of Clayton Holcomb. One of his travelling mates here.
Whoa.
Zach Woning spits the jack into the pit. Toucher is in the pit. Still a decent hike away from the jack, Matty. What would that be, 1.5 metres away?
Yeah, at least.
Could even be closer to 5 foot.
A bit of a measure for shot, I'd say.
Yep. Don't know
See
whether
if
any
Chris
of the
can
bowls
take
on
the
the
measure
rink.
out of the question.
Yep. None of these bowls on the rink will be in the measure at the end, is my bet.
Rod saying 2.
Afternoon, Brendan. Marg. Zach Woning.
Oh, sneaks in front.
That's 1 to Zach Woning so far. Both players with 1 bowl to count. So Chris Young, the story that I hear, Matty, is he only had some of his older shirts from Shellenbar Golf left that were clean. So Clayton Holcomb, which was his pairs partner, said, "Don't worry about it, mate. I've got you covered." Went and did a little bit of laundry for him this morning.
That's called teamwork, Tone.
It is.
That last shot's mine. I'm the one on the line.
Certainly a shirt that Matty Rennex likes. Colin Pavey says, "Good luck, Brad." So
I'm liking this already, Tone. It's bowl for bowl.
it is. We're going to see a fair bit of this from these two. Had a great match that we streamed last night between Brad Pavey and Matt Flapper. And then we caught the end of the J. By Norris Chris Young match, which was equally as good. We expect this one to be the same. Chris Young remains with 1 shot.
T to T, Tone. Straight
Yep.
back.
I think we'll see that almost every time. He won't be too fussed. Actually, in the roll-up, Matty, he rolled the jack to the tee and then asked the marker to bring it back a little bit closer to him. So he said halfway up the line, which would probably be the best part of 3 metres shorter. So I don't think he'd be too fussed if it's on the tee or within that sort of length. On the tee this time.
Applause for Brad Pavey next door.
Smiley
Yeah,
to hold up
3
yellow
green
paddles, but
paddles.
switches to green. Paddles for paddles. Paddles being Brad Pavey's nickname.
I finally asked him about the story, Tone.
Do tell.
His mum played a bit of a joke on him, and I think it was an extremely wet day, and Brad was concerned. Don't know the age that he was at this, but concerned about getting home, and asked his mum, "How are we going to get home?" And Mum's reply was, "It's okay, Brad. I've put the paddles on the car. We'll be fine."
And it's stuck ever since.
Benny having a run next door.
Just missing narrow, so Brad Pavey will pick up 3.
Makes it 4-2. Jenny Miller's 5-1 against Anne Draffin.
Down 2 on the head though, at least 1 actually. Sorry, marker just signals it's 1, so
Jennifer Holmes from Monbulk.
Yep.
I know she, Jennifer, had a timed out game on this green. 1:20.19 against Carol Fair from Kiwa.
Kiwa Valley, nice part of the world up there. So Zach Waning holding shot here. Chris Young watching this intently. Now just giving up on it slightly as it cuts under.
Actually 4 it was next door.
Brad Pavey. It's the first time he and Matt Flapper have ever played each other in a game of singles yesterday. And it was, if you get the chance to watch that replay again, it was an absolute belter of a match. It would have been 21-18 or 19, I think, in the end, but both players deserving of the victory. Of course, there can be only one.
Measure for second shot.
Marker confirming it's a measure for second, but one down. This looks a touch like a better track to me. He cut the head a couple of times and then didn't quite get back with that one, so...
May have taken the measure out though.
Yeah, he's sort of shaking his head a little bit, Chris Young there, so he might just be struggling to find it early, but... Not a bad game when you're not happy with how you're playing and you're still winning.
I think Rodney's saying he's favouring Chris Young's last bowl as being second.
Yeah, so there's
Zach
the two
can get
Zach
onto
will be
those
looking to
two
beat.
bowls though, Tone.
He can. Just not quite the juice to get there, so we'll find out what this is. It's definitely one to Zach Waning. We'll see whether it ends up being two. The under-18s playing on the green out the back here as well. Matty, which is a sign of the future. And looking out there, there is some real talent.
Yeah, I was doing a little bit of scouting. Two.
So Zach Waning takes the lead. Matty, 3-2.
I tell you what, Tone, they're not shy to have a drive, the under-18s.
No, that is true. That is true. And 3 games a day is never enough for them. As soon as they finish, they'll all be out there practicing, having a little driving
I think Jimmy
competition.
didn't even worry about telling them about a time limit.
No.
Because they were 5 ends ahead of it.
Yeah, correct. All right, so scores across the rinks. Jennifer Holmes is leading 3-2 over Carol Fair. And Dreffin is trailing 2-5 to Jenny Miller. Vinnie McElwain is trailing that same scoreline, 2-5 to Brad Pavey. And on our stream drink here, Chris Young trailing 2-3 to Zach Woning. Yes, Daniel Nichols, that is the same Chris Young. I might be wrong here, but I think he sort of gave the game away for a little while, but incredibly talented player. Was very close to playing for his country. Might have played, I think, in an event in South Africa from memory. But as my very reliable source, aka JT, says he played at Shep Golf as well as Moama. So did have a stint in the Goulburn Valley. Daniel Nichols loves a drive. Haven't really seen it yet, but they're going to be too far away.
Talk about not too far away.
Yeah, lovely bowl. Using the Henselite XG, size 4.
Well, a bit of a drive now, Tone. Oh,
And that is
what?
Jack in the pitch and follows it in. Only sits about 6 inches from where the bowl is. We'll get some markers on the bank.
No effort at all with that drive.
No. So
It's
there
actually
you go.
quite difficult to get it straight on.
You can see the number on the bank when we get to this shot.
Some size next door. Benny a bit unlucky with an upshot.
Yep.
Makes another one to Brad, I'd say.
Chris Young with a good effort here.
Yeah.
Really, it's just about limiting the damage. I'm not sure that he can really get shot here, to be honest. Zach Waning with a crack of a drive, followed it in. CJ Snare and Andrew Cullen happy. Zach will be trying to draw right to the ditch here for second shot. Looks a touch narrow. He's turned his back on that one, so no change. So there, Chris Young still has one bowl to come. Favourite might just be a little draw to the ditch practice, because even if he gets it bang on, he's going to be doing well to get it.
Great
No
camera
touches
work
there.
for Brad.
Yep. So you can see the markers there. The red marker on that shot is where the bowl lies. The yellow is the jack. No touches on the green to push through. Yeah, Jeff, it certainly does. Winning a Vic Open. We've had selectors here. In fact, our state coach has been here all week, keeping an eye on the talent. Nice to have you watching from Silverdale, Philip. So Chris Young's last bowl. No change. That'll be one to Zach Waning.
Constantly give you scores from the rinks next door. Brad Pavey now 7-2 over Vinnie McAway. Jenny Miller from Leongatha is 6-2 over Anne Draffin.
That's Grandma, Jenny Miller. Of course, Ange Hackett, who we've had in commentary. That's her
Yeah,
mum.
she was great. Commentary.
Yep.
Ange. And Jennifer Holmes from Monbulk. 3-2 over Carol Fair.
She might have picked up 2 or 3. Could even be 4 as well. Jennifer Holmes. So we'll get that updated score as the ladies are walking down to declare the head. Just looking across the green, Matty, Brad Pavey is playing almost another level.
Great start for Chris Young.
Sorry, my apologies. It was Carol Fair that picked up the 4 over on the end rink. So
6-3 now. Carol. Andrew Darley behind's giving this a little bit of a clap.
yeah, Lucas, Saints did get lucky last night. It's always lucky when you draw Essendon. Very fortunate.
They're looking all right, Tone. Aren't they?
They are. I was
They're
quite
up and
happy,
about.
quite happy watching that last night.
Chris having a run.
Oh, well played. Takes the shot bowl out. Loses his own in the process, but holding one. I may have sent Lucas a couple of text messages last night. Maybe a membership form to the Saints. Good effort here from Zach
that's-
Waning. I think it's good enough for shot, but we'll find out. Chris Young just
asking the
asking, is he
question.
one down to that?
Measure.
Rodney Bates saying it's
What
too tight
good
to
markers
call.
do, Tone.
Yep. There's no use guessing at it if you're going to guess it wrong. If it is too close, players can come down and have a look after their third bowl.
Chris Young.
Tell you what,
Oh,
little tick on the jack
Takes
is
the
going to
measure
take
out
the
of it.
measure out. Well played.
2.
Zach Waning gives a little thigh slap.
We're going to
say
see
well
everything
played.
here, Tone.
Yeah,
Great draw bowling.
I agree.
Some aggression. We're in store for a great match.
Yep. Vicky Pickett's watching from Ocean Grove. I imagine there'll be a number of people watching from Ocean Grove. Keen to hear how Brad Pavey's going. Good news is he's up 7-2. He's about to pick up another 2 as well. So he'll be up 9-2 early days.
Two bowl plan here, Tone.
Well, unfortunately,
Oh,
he's
no,
got
can't.
one left. So unless we're going to give him 5,
You're right.
I'd be better if I had 5. Still wouldn't trouble the scorers though.
You did play on this green the other day, didn't you?
I did, yeah. I actually quite enjoyed myself out here. It is fast. There's a lot of turn. Oh, I think that's not going to be in, but depends if it... I was waiting for that bowl to fall, but it hasn't yet fallen. So 2 and a measure is the signal.
Get the chocks out. If I was Chris, I'd be getting the chocks out, Tone.
Yeah. Interesting to see what happens here if it does fall.
Looks... 2.
Chris Young plays at Shellenbar Golf towards the Grampians. And, with that, we'll get a genuine commentator in here and I'll go and make myself busy somewhere else. So, Maddie, enjoy the rest of the call.
Thanks, Tone.
Josh Thornton will join us.
So the score next door is another 2 for Brad Pavey. That makes it 9-2 over Vinnie McElwain. Afternoon, JT.
Afternoon, Mario.
We're in store for a great match.
No, it's what I'm kind of expecting. I actually think these two play very similar. They're both obviously very good draw bowlers. You can't get this deep in a singles event like the Victorian Open, but they actually like attacking too. And we've seen that from both players so far early on in this match.
Oh, great draw bowl from Zach Wayne.
I watched from afar last evening Zach play Cooper Kraus in that quarterfinal, and he was drawing well, but he was also converting and hitting well. Chris Crossley said Chris Young is not a bad golfer either. I have been told that. I've reacquainted myself with Chris over the last couple of years since I've been in my capacity, Matty, as the I'm the country manager for Northwest Victoria. I look after the Murray, Mallee and Wimmera Bowls regions, and I happened to go to a meeting at Shellenbar Golf where Chris was sitting in there having a nice beer after finishing a round of golf, and I think he told me he was off a reasonable single-figure golf handicap. So I am aware he hits the golf ball pretty well too. Much higher line here. It's all on his speed, but it's looking close.
Oh, yes. Aggression here, JT.
I said I wouldn't be surprised. He's had a couple good drives already. One didn't sink it, like sink it in terms of sitting it, and then the next one he nearly basically sat on top of it. Chris Morris, yeah, Chris Young definitely played at Moama. I don't know the timelines of when, but he definitely played there. He was a bowls coordinator there a period of time. Zach's got to hold on now. He's very close. He's just a bit stiff that he hit the back edge of it on the angle where it pushed the bowl onto the jack as well. Some scores across the green. I don't know if you've done them recently, but since I've been here. Holmes versus Fair. Fair is 8-3 up. And Miller versus Druffin. Miller is 7-2 up. Chris is looking close again, I reckon,
Yeah,
Mario.
weight is spot on. Zach's clapping it. Oh, hides the jack too.
I know you probably talk with Tone, and I think you were talking about the history of Chris Young. Me and you had a bet.
Yeah, we did, didn't we?
Regarding Chris 2 weeks ago at the 16 over singles, where you actually won the bet because you backed Michael Wilson from
I had to put my Yarra hat on.
Yeah, that's cool, and I put my Wimmera hat on. But I did ask you at the time, do you know who Chris Young is?
I had no idea.
Yeah, and now you're starting to learn and see why.
Oh, yeah, he's amazing.
How's Zach looking here? Looks not a bad line. He's got to be under Chris's as well, which he looks to be. This is awfully close. He wasn't that far away. He had a bit of I'd say a hiatus. I don't know for what reason, and I hadn't seen him for a long time. He didn't play the sport for a little while, from what I understand, or just played pennant from Saturday to Saturday, something along those lines. And only again recently, in the last 12 months, sort of got semi-serious again. And he walked straight into the Victorian 16 over stateside, as you can imagine. They won the national championship, but his rink never lost a game during that event. It was
Right.
the rink of the tournament for the men.
And Chris was skipping.
Yeah, he had, I can't remember his rink off the top of my head. I'd have to go searching, but yeah, he skipped and they went, never lost a game as a rink during the tournament. Obviously, he figured in the 16 over singles a couple of weeks ago. And did he play 60 over? I think he won both. Yes, he did win the regions. So, and he's skipping their region side at region championships in May.
Yeah. Be nice to have a little break and come back and dominate the way he's bowling. Talk about dominating. Next door, Brad Pavey. Putting his hand up for the final.
Vinny's having a run.
Oh,
Good
great
hit by
hit.
Vinny. That is brilliant.
I think it's a couple of touches there, though.
One of them went out to the boundary peg. If there is 2 touches, then the other one's near the jack, unfortunately, for Vinny.
Needs to check the ball.
So the touch is the one out there.
No, Neil Smiley's all over it. Big shout out to our ITOs.
Super impressed with Vinny yesterday and the day before in the singles. He's been playing exceptionally well.
He did very well at last year's Vic Open too, from memory. Oh, Zach Woney.
Chris just travelling a fraction if he sits it though. Yes. Good bowl there. Give the chance.
Run here again, JT. Oh!
He's hitting so good.
And with the respot, that's a great result.
Consistently hitting him
Yeah.
the last 2 days I've seen.
Jimmy's picked him as the winner.
Yeah, I did hear that. I made my prediction earlier. Oh, I actually didn't make the winner's prediction. I just made who I think was going to make the final.
Your prediction?
I said it was going to be a Chris Young, Brad Pavey final. And here comes Zach.
He's a bit heavy, I think.
Yeah. Say it's, well,
Oh,
stayed on. Assume it's one, Chris, but angles didn't.
yeah, one to Chris Young.
Chris.
3 ends in a row. Talking about ones, it's a 1 to Vinnie McAway next door.
Got a good crowd in here this afternoon.
Yeah, it's great to see.
Green, well, not I wouldn't say surrounded, but a fair chunk of the seats have been taken up. We also have a function going inside at the moment, Matty.
Yeah,
for
host
all
club
the
function.
Host club function, so all the clubs that hosted the Vic Open throughout this event.
Big shout out to all our host clubs. They've done an amazing job.
And I think once that function's finished, guess what? They'll probably all venture back out here and watch the end of this match.
I was having a chat to one of the Warrigal Bowls club members, and they've been wrapped with having the Vic Open. Made a little bit of money for the club.
Good, brilliant. Antoinette Smith has made a comment here. 20 years ago, my old man, now past, said Chris Young was the second best bowler ever from Victoria. That's a huge, huge shout out.
Cool.
Yeah. Wonder who your old man said was the best bowler ever for Victoria.
Might be you, JT.
No, definitely not. Vito Rio. I've known Vito for a very long time. I got introduced to him in I think my first or second year at bowls. Vito was a very good bowler back in the day. And he said the last time he played against Chris, he reckons Chris was a redhead. He was one of the quickest bowlers back in the day too. I think he slowed down a fraction, to be honest, from what I remember from him. Yeah, it's handy. Just, wow, actually that ran a lot further than I thought.
And Draffin having a bit of a drive. Hands down to Jenny Miller's 10 and Draffin 2. Chris Young again.
Yeah, great bowl.
How good is it just to watch draw bowling, JT?
This screen's really conducive to it too. You, as I said, I've said it a number of times in the stream. Hang on,
Another run here.
He's nearly got it again.
Oh, he's got the jack 3 times in a row. Well, that's a great result now. It's
Jack went out of bounds. That'll
Back
come
on
back
the
to the
tee.
tee. It's respot. There's, well, 2 metres of room to
you'll
get.
back Chris to draw this.
Well, I would. But
That's going to be a little bit frustrating for Zach.
well, where the jack was based, it was a short end with the mat back and the jack back.
Chris Young.
I was going to say, it's very hard to sink the jack and stay with it from that far out. Chris has played, not a bad.
Asking it to hold, JT.
Yeah, if it's weights, good. He's half a sniff. Looks good to me.
Yeah.
Great
Zach
bowl, Zach.
Waning. Back on the scoreboard. Jennifer Holmes is 5 and Carol Fair is 10. We've got Jenny Miller leading Anne Draffin 10-3. Brad Pavey's 11, Vinnie McAway's 3. And 7-5 to Chris Young over Zach Waning.
Bit longer this end, Matty.
Chris has been favouring that sort of tee-to-tee length.
Yeah, but Zach rolled the jack.
Oh, he did too. How am I going? We did see one minimum end to Chris Young. Oh,
Great start. Vinny McElwain has scored another one, so it's now 11-4. Antoinette said Dennis Dalton was the best bowler he'd ever seen, her old man. Dennis Dalton was a very good player, ended up moving to New South Wales as well, and 99% confident he's been inducted into the Bowls Australia Hall of Fame. If my memory serves me correct.
would you dare to have a go at who's the best bowler in Victoria?
Well, yeah.
You're entitled to your opinion, JT.
Yeah, I'm going to sort of put him 2 or 3 out there without nominating number 1.
So you're sitting on the fence.
No, a little bit, yeah. No doubt. Look, who the best ever is very, very subjective, as you know. I've nearly always said that Mark Jacobson was the best 2-bowl force player I've ever seen. Skipper. I think some of the things he did on the green.
Yeah. I've had the pleasure of playing against Jaco.
It'd be, again, I'm talking about my era too, so blokes that I've seen, it's hard for me to judge anyone. Judged before, I didn't get to see, the blokes like Lynn Bazisto and Johnny Snell and them guys who obviously got amazing records, but it's hard for me to judge because I've never actually seen them play. I'd put Matty Flapper up there. He's now running second, I think, now in terms of the amount of games played for Victoria. I said 402 when he joined me in commentary before, but I must be out by 1 or 2 games because he looked at me and said, "Oh, you're close," But I know he played his 400th at the last Nationals. And, I mean, the other one, and again, this is... no... Going to have to say one of my mates is not bad as well in Barry Lester.
Having a drive again. Zach Woning.
Oh. Wow, what a shot.
Gee.
That is brilliant.
Oh, worthy of a replay there, Brad.
I said not singling any of them out. And then you could also throw, I'm throwing a 4th name out here. He's born a Victorian. Never played here as long as he obviously did in another state, but I mean, great bowl, Chris Young.
Oh, counteracting this drive from Zach really well.
Mark Casey. There's another one. But he probably accomplished all his major stuff when he moved to Queensland.
Great
Watch this
CJ.
replay. Look
Drive
at this.
is on.
Bang. What a shot.
Hasn't missed a drive yet.
Well, I haven't seen him miss one.
No.
So scores 8-5. We'll give you some more scores over the greens. Holmes is 5, Fair is 11, Draffin is 4, Miller is 10, and Pavey 11, McElwain 4. I think Pavey's holding shot.
Yep.
Barbara, I don't know whether you heard me,
Last bowl
but I did mention Matty Flapper. What about you? You care to weigh in?
I don't know if I've been in the game long enough. JT.
Good start here from Chris.
I can just watch his draw bowling all day.
Benny Walden just asked me a question. There's an interesting story to this question, Matty Oak. He asked me, was I part of the Geelong West side that won the premiership with Ken Thomas's last bowl? So, in short, yes. But I'd lived overseas for 18 months. Arrived back in Australia in December of 2006. And
Is this when you had tipped hair?
no, that's another story.
Yeah.
And my partner at the time got a job at the Sands in Torquay, so I moved down that way. And Nathan Bush played junior states with him, so I joined up with Geelong West. And I only played 4 games or 5 games for him that year. And one of them was the grand final that Benny Walden was talking about. And I agree, it is the greatest bowl I have ever seen. We had led for 99 ends, I think about 4 rings to 25, 99 ends, and 14 of the bowls, those bowls in the last end. The opposition skip, Sean Lynch or Wayne Lynch, I can't remember, having a mental blank there, potted the jack in the pit for 3, which meant they held game by 1. 2 of their bowls were very reasonably close to the ditch near the jack, and the third one was probably 2 yards away. And Grape, it just passes. Kenny Thomas had last bowl, who is another Victorian champion. There you go, Benny Walden said Sean Clark. I had Link there. Sorry, guys. And my first thought was, as long as Kenny Thomas gets third shot, we go out for extra ends. So the bowl comes down. I'm looking at it going, no, that should be third shot. That should be good. We should be going out for extra ends. The bowl comes closer and closer and going, it's probably 2 or 3 yards away from the ditch. And I go, oh no, it's still got a bit of pace to go. It might go in the pit. We might lose this match. And then it come up, sat on the edge of the ditch next to their shot bowl and just stopped. And we drew shot. He literally was 5 centimetres from the jack in the pit on a slow green at Sebastopol. And yeah, best bowl I've ever seen.
Everyone getting around each other?
Yeah, absolutely. There is a video out there. I'm pretty sure Ryan Tainton has shared it on Facebook before. It's not the greatest vision, but there is some vision of it. Better get back to the match though.
Zach looking to draw this.
Is he 1 down?
Yeah, maybe a look for 2. Gets it with that.
One to Zach.
Good
speed.
Yeah.
8-6. So it looks like Anne Draffin's getting back in this game. She just scored a 3, so it would make it now 7-10, I reckon. Yep.
Carol Fair continuing her form.
Zach took the mat up and tried to roll the jack on the tee, and
I reckon I've seen about 20 jacks being rolled into the ditch at Morwell.
I think I rolled 6 at Newborough.
Did you?
In my first game. At least. I was trying to play long ends.
So Carol Fair, 12. Jennifer Holmes, 5.
Vinny is drawing another 2. That's where all the claps are from, because he's a local.
So
There's
that
a
makes
fair.
it Brad Pavey, 13. Vinny, 6.
Chris Young threw the jack in the ditch too.
Well, Zach gets his mat now and his length. We're going to minimum. Do you train minimums, JT?
I actually probably train what I call the extreme lengths more than I train anything else, which is minimum length and maximum length.
Yeah, I brought that into our training this year. It's been great.
I think most people generally, when they're rolling up with their club mates and things like that, they probably tend to roll medium often.
Yeah.
And even most people start that way a little bit. If I'm playing by myself, training by myself, I'll always practice the extremes more than I practice the others.
Yeah, I added 4 ends of minimum, 4 ends of T to T before training starts.
Afternoon, Brendan. Cracking game of bowls, he says, which I agree.
Afternoon, Brendan.
Jeff Briggs. Ian Ross is the best bowler he's played with. Yeah, Rossi is one of the best from Bendigo. Won an Australian singles title early 90s. from memory.
We'll be back in a sec, JT.
All right. Zach's a little narrow here, but he may sit on the Chris Young bowl. No, just misses. Chris coming in for another good bowl here. I'd say it's 2 according to Rodney Bates' marker. Zach's going Jack again.
Can he get it again?
I don't know if he deliberately meant to use the bowl then, but he got it.
Vinny's got a big result next door. Brad's still got 1 to play.
So the Jack is in the pit near the 9 there. The little yellow marker there. The nut rank number.
Asking it to stay.
So it looks like it's 2.
Yep, 2.
1. He's got a 1 paddle.
Really?
He's going to measure it.
I'll be questioning that.
So Brad's got shot on the rink next door, Brad Pavey. Caspar says Chris has been more consistent to draw the moment. Zach's driving has been brilliant. You're probably
you're
absolutely spot on. We agree with that statement at this point in time. Umpire's been called. Barbara, as asks the question, there's a pole with a curve handle attached to the end of the rink. Is it used for bowlers to get up and down off the rink? Yes, it is. It is bolted in.
They call them candy canes at a
Do
lot
they?
of clubs.
Oh, I've never heard that terminology.
Really?
I'm just. Brad Pavey got 2 next door, so it's 15-6. Yeah, they definitely have to be bolted in.
Yeah, we got a grant to get those added to our green. You'd know all about grants, JT.
Yes, bit of experience in dual, roles in the past and current roles. There are always good ways if you, and sometimes the submission's not that hard either, or onerous in terms of getting them in. But good way to get money for your club, your region, state or national body potentially too. Depends on the style of grant.
Have a chat to your RBM if you want some help with securing a grant. Great draw shot there from Vinny next door. The scores in the other matches, Carol Fair 12, Jennifer Holmes 7, Jenny Miller 11, Anne Draffin 7, and next door Brad Pavey 15, Vinny Muckaway 6. Are these the best scoreboards you've ever seen, JT?
I'm not going to go out on that big of a limb, but they're pretty good.
So great having the names on there.
Yes.
That clearly. That clear.
So it's 1 to Zach. Takes the score now to 8-7.
Oh, this might be short, JT. Might be getting a measure out.
Yeah, measure up. While you're here.
He's grabbing it.
Busy man. Done nothing for a little while, and he's out in force.
Oh, paddles.
Oh.
Oh, wow.
Well,
That's a good result.
He was unlucky and then lucky. He in the rink next door, he drove. He put the jack in the pit, which looked like he's toucher went with it, and then the jack bounced out and come forward down the green. But fortunately for him, it come near his bowl.
Yeah, rebounding jack. Saw that in the under 18s not too long ago. It's not 21, JT. Chris gets the mat. I'd say we're going to the tee.
So I reckon Chris's strategy I'm just seeing where he rolls it before I make this statement. I don't want to make myself look stupid. Probably already do that anyway. Yeah, so he's going short himself, but he's keeping the jack away from the pit, and that's trying to
Yeah, smart.
not control, but take away Zach's weapon at the moment, which is his drive. And if he's driving with the jack up the green like it is, it's very hard to sit on top of it in the pit.
Yep. It's a good strategy if someone's on their drive like Zach is.
The other tactic I think some people use sometimes, depending on the driver, if there is someone who's a good driver, is you go ditch to ditch. And even though the jack is close to the ditch, it's a lot harder to hit a jack,
drive, yeah.
for example, at 40 metres versus it is 21 metres. Zach's going early. It's the first one I've seen him miss. So scores across the green. Oh, Zach, hang on before
Going
Zach goes
again.
again. He's backed himself in for 2. He's only got 1 left this end. Holmes 7 playing fair 12. Draffin 7 playing Miller 12. McElwain 6, Pavey 16. Good bowl again from Chris. Is it 2 or 3? Did Rodney signal 2 or 3?
I think it's only 2.
Yep. Okay, so which means...
What's he do?
He still might go again. I mean, it's a fatter, wider... I always say fatter. I shouldn't say fatter, but it's a wider target.
But the jack's going back.
Well, it depends. You get both bowls out without touching the jack, potentially. He's really weighing it up at the moment.
Yep, going again.
Vinnie McElwain just had a drive on the green next door, and there's only one bowl left in the ditch. There may be some touches. I don't know if there's touches in the ditch or not, but one bowl left on the green, and it's Vinnie's.
There were comments about this green being a draw or drive green.
It is. I really feel like it is. So,
Great opportunity here.
well, and even if he turns his own over or just passes and gets the jack, he could bring his back bowl in if it's out.
Does he go Zach's bowl?
No.
Too aggressive.
Try and draw a third, and if you happen to touch it,
Yeah,
it's a bonus.
edge it
you know.
out. Might bring the back one in.
He doesn't like it. Oh, it's 2. Not happy with himself, Chris.
Brad Pavey.
There's another 2. Vinny's last bowl's about to come next door. It's 2 to Chris Young. Score now 10-7. That's a brilliant bowl, Vinny McElwain. 2 down.
Yeah, absolute draw. Just a reminder, these games are timed because it's not the final. 2¼ hours.
Seems like Chris is not actually setting to one length. He's changing it up. He's going long, going short. I guess he's going with the fact that he's trying to maybe get Zach out of his rhythm. It's a tactic I've seen used before. Matty?
Do you use it?
Occasionally, not often. I'm like, particularly in singles, I'm more of a, if I get my rhythm and find my length, I roll with myself to be consistently better than the opposition. One of the best ones I've seen, and it was only ever introduced to me, not early in my career, early playing bowls, when I moved to Queensland and playing alongside Kelvin Kirko at South Tweed. When you used to have a head tailwind, he used to love going super short with the wind behind you.
Oh, yep.
And
Good
then
strategy.
ditch back into the wind. And I'd never seen it before, but I thought it makes sense if you can actually get your head around it and go well of it. It was quite a good tactic.
Well, some greens will tend to be faster one way than the other. I know at our green we have a little bit of that. So we make our ends a bit longer when we're going towards the slower end.
Using that tactic, your players have to be prepared and ready to go for it too, though. There's no good doing it if they're not going to adjust themselves. Is it there? I reckon it's nearly counting.
Yeah, Rod saying 3. Jenny Miller picks up another one, makes it 14-7.
Over Ian Draffin. All right, let's see if Zach can get back on the draw here. It's the last ball for the end. My first reaction is I'm not sure it's there.
I'm agreeing with you.
Oh, Vinnie McElwain, what a bowl. Played a couple pearlers the last two ends. Absolute pearlers. Puts a jack in the pit next door. Wasn't a flat out bowl.
Right, first 3 for the game.
Yeah, it's all been 1s and 2s. So first little gap in the scoreline too. Matty O. 2 Matty O's today, you realise. Matty O'Brien in that pairs final, who was superb in the second half.
The much better Matty O.
I'm not arguing with you.
I'm sure you said that.
And obviously yourself.
Actually, there's one on Triple M as well.
Don't know.
Late night radio.
Don't know him.
You've got a Matty Owens, haven't you, in Carlton?
It's Owies, isn't it?
Owies, Matty Owies.
Is it Matty? I can't remember. Good start here from Chris.
Actually played against Matty O'Brien in the Dandenong 12,000.
Yeah, right. How'd you go against him?
We got a draw, actually. Yeah. Lucas won it with his last bowl.
Wow. Zach doesn't look far away either.
Yeah, great bowl, Zach. Change up.
Well, the jack was loaded, as we would say, in bowls vernacular, and so any touch on the bowls sprung at a reasonable distance. It's probably a good 2 feet, 3 feet away.
All right, we're going to have a change in commentary. We're going to get a person who got very close to the Barb Gilbert. Oh, no, she's a bit disappointed. But had an amazing Vic Open for 2023. Trish Doolan.
Doing some musical chair swapping here too. As Trish pulls out her scene glasses. Welcome.
Hey, thanks Josh.
Triples and pairs champion this year.
Thank you. Yeah, it's been a good 10 days.
You've been watching the match?
I've been talking if I'm honest, but
Yep.
I've been keeping an eye on the scores.
Yep.
I had the pleasure of watching Chris Young play against J-By last night, I think it was. It was an amazing game.
Yep.
So he's obviously taken that form into this game as well.
It's been an interesting match. I said when I first jumped on the commentary this match that they're both guys who have got all the shots. They're good draw bowlers and they both are very good hitters. But so far in this match, Chris has probably outdrawn Zach, and then Zach's drives kept him into the game until maybe the last 2 or 3 ends.
Yeah, right.
He's missed a couple for the first time. He never missed the first 5 or 6, I reckon. He's nosing bare jacks and things like that. He's obviously getting a little bit frustrated at the moment with himself. But
do you sort of subscribe to that mentality that eventually the draw will beat the drive?
Well, it's
eventually.
It's been that little rule of thumb, isn't it, for a long time? People always say a good draw bowler, beat a good driver. I probably, I do agree with that one.
Eventually.
Yes, yeah.
What do they say at golf? Driving's for show and
putting's for
dough.
Yeah. Yep. Some comments here. Saying congratulations, Trish. You've got to put your glasses on, Trish.
Shut up, Josh. No one knows how old I am.
No, you don't have to be old to wear glasses.
That's true.
Yes, Chris comes down
Another
here.
great shot from Chris here.
I was going to say, he doesn't want to touch it.
Gee, the green's running beautifully here too.
It is, yeah. So there's a lot of congratulations.
Oh, sorry.
Trish.
I can't see it. Putting the glasses on.
And Matty O'Brien was to know, can you give us some info on Zach, please?
Oh, Matty. Well, Zach was runner-up in the Vic Open 2 years ago, actually, in the singles to J-By. Have you already covered that?
They might have
Do you
covered
know?
it before I jumped on, I
Okay.
reckon. Though not me personally, but yeah, no, he's. I first come across, I reckon, Zach at State Champions Week down at Warrnambool that year.
Okay.
He was in the
right. Oh, yeah, that was a big one, wasn't it? That was the COVID effect. Here he
Yep.
goes. Bit of weight.
So it's probably another 2.
Yeah. Bit stiff in the scheme of things. Those up shots really hold on the carpet, right? Compared with the grass, that might have swung a little bit with grass.
Yeah, as I said, he never looked like missing one early. So it's now 15-7.
And Zach just had a child, I believe.
Okay, there you
So,
go.
recently,
So you
so-
do have all the info.
Thanks, Maddie, for putting that up there. Maddie and Mitch, of course, have just played the pairs final here as well. Maddie O'Brien and Mitch Sidebottom.
Score update across the greens.
Sorry.
That's all right.
Let's
Hey, we talk about anything here, Chris. You know, Holmes versus Fair. Fair is 14-10 up at the moment. Miller versus Draffin. Miller is leading 15-7. And so next door, Pavey versus McElwain. Pavey is 16-9 up.
And thank you for all these comments. I do appreciate them. Kaz and Patricia Kay, I see. Paddy Warlow, thank you. Yep.
Now you generally come to the Vic Open regardless of where it's been, Tris.
I have, yeah.
Yes.
I haven't missed one for a few, well, since I started really. I think it's been great, actually. I know it's close to the last one, so
Yep.
the numbers were down a little bit, but I have all faith that they'll be back up next year.
I agree. I agree. It's probably Chris's loosest first bowl for a while.
What's that, Josh? Do explain.
I
That's
don't
a
know-
great shot, by the way.
Yeah,
from
brilliant, Zach. I don't know if I can
Yeah.
explain that one.
I don't think. Do we want to know?
Yeah, I don't know. I'll think about whether I explain that one or not.
Okay, sit on that.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, there's an opportunity
Yeah.
happening here for Zach. Has he doubled up, Josh?
No,
Not
it's
quite.
just his weight.
I don't know much about Chris Young. Do you?
I'm sorry, I'm getting caught up in some of the comments here. No, I can tell you a lot about Chris
Can you
Young.
tell me about
Yeah,
him?
Yeah, okay, cool. Just bear with me, we'll just watch this bowl. Vinny has played another telling bowl next door. So, I first come across Chris Young over 20 years ago now. He was a bowls coordinator at Moama, and when I was just sort of starting to get in the sport, the titles he'd won, he was skipping for the state, won Australian titles, and absolute gunny. He had a stint at Shep Golf. He's originally from where he is actually now in terms of Ararat, Schellenberg Golf. And anyway, I hadn't heard from him for a long time, and I've been in this job now for near on coming up 2 years, and one of my first meetings I had was at Schellenberg Golf. And he wasn't there in the meeting, but he was sitting there having a beer after having a round of golf. And he'd been playing padded. He hadn't played too seriously, he said. And then next minute, he's back playing seriously again and straight into the state over 60 side,
Yes.
skipping.
Yeah.
Never lost a
Saw
game
that.
as skipper of
Yeah,
that
right.
tournament when they won the Nationals.
Yeah, so he gave it a spell for a while.
Well, I
He's
think
come
so.
straight
Or he
back.
wasn't, he might have been still playing week to week from a pennant sense, but just not taking it serious. And next minute, he's everywhere.
Yeah, yeah. It's interesting with the golf. I've just got back into golf myself, actually.
How'd he hit it?
Went all right. Oh, went all right.
good.
It was down at Cape Shank for the long weekend a couple of
Nice
weeks
part
ago.
of the world. I've stayed there before.
93 off the stick for 18. I was pretty happy with that.
He's single figures handicap.
No, that's you have to play all the time to get to that level.
You might have heard that little crowd murmur there before.
Yeah.
Brad Pavey had a runner. It was a bit stiff and took all his bowls out, and he dropped a 3. So that score is now 16-12. Brad Pavey against Vinnie McElwain. Brad is still in front.
That's it. Good second, I would have thought.
Yeah.
The second shot's just key in singles, isn't it, really?
It's been a big... I've been lucky enough to be coach of a couple of clubs, and one of my team rules used to be is, second shot is gold, and drop ones, get the 2s, so...
Absolutely. Wait for your opportunity in singles. Get second shot and then just wait for your opponent to have a loose hand and attack. I once got told, because I was coaching as well, Josh, and I once got told, second shot's boring. Like, wow. So wait until you've played for a while.
Yeah, good bowl here from Zach. Yeah,
It's good enough.
Yep.
Good enough for 2.
He stopped the momentum. I was saying before, 15-9. Chris hasn't been going a certain length. He's been going short this way and long this way, and I think he's just trying to change it up and get Zach out of his rhythm a little bit.
Yeah.
Zach's been trying to go sort of minimum lengthish
Yeah.
and then lean on his drive as it's been a weapon this game
Needs
too.
this jack to stay up. Such an important role, isn't it? Rolling the jack.
I was telling the viewers earlier that I rolled about 6 jacks in the ditch. Yes, when did I play last? Whenever it was, Friday.
It's been a long time.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
In my first knockout game.
Did you?
I was trying to roll ditch to ditch and just, yeah.
That's okay. You just shrug your shoulders and say, okay, we'll play your length. Zach just needs to have a few deep breaths now. Pull himself together. He will.
Our next streaming event after the Vic Open, once it concludes, is our State Champions Week, Tris.
Yes. Yes.
I'm going to jump to conclusion here and assume you've qualified for at least one event.
Oh, you shouldn't assume these things, Josh. But yeah, I've got, what have I got?
Giving you a little chance to brag here.
Thanks, a little flex. I got the singles, the pairs, and the 4s. We lost the triples by a shot, so 3.
So 3 region events for the Yarra region.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
And what about yourself? You got the 4s?
4s, yeah.
Yeah.
I only played 2 state events this year myself. Trying to scale it back a bit. As you know, we had a chat the last couple of days. I've got a 4-year-old and a 1-year-old now, so we still have playing areas in our region. So we have to win our playing area first and then win the region.
Isn't it, that extra bit?
Well, it's all part of the journey, I guess, So, and managed to get the 4s this year.
Are you skipping in that?
Yes, I am.
Who's in your 4s?
I have our club president, Gary Shorty McCaig, bit of a legend. All these guys are actually legends.
All right.
Why wouldn't they be,
See it.
Johnny Cool second and Buck Lehman.
Yeah.
So...
Bowling royalty up your way.
Buck Lehman is anyway. What he hasn't won, either in the Wimmera or the Murray Mallee.
Lot, Zach.
Yeah.
Yes, okay. Yeah.
So, no, look, you never know. You just got to go there and win one game at a
That's
time
it.
if you can. Yeah, it was a good bowl there by Zach.
Yeah. Probably holding 2 at the minute.
Chris's weight's not bad. He didn't need the touch.
It's interesting because Chris has rolled the jack pretty short,
Yeah.
which Zach was trying to do.
But this is the way Chris has been rolling
Has he?
short. Yeah,
Yeah, right,
I think what he goes with this way is he goes, right, jack short,
and then
and
back.
takes the drive like going into the pit type scenario. Bowl Zach.
1 in, 1 out. That's okay.
And then when he said what he was doing this way was going ditch to ditch.
Not letting his opponent get comfortable.
No.
Yeah.
Did you use that tactic?
Sometimes.
Yeah.
If you can mentally get your head around it and then think that you've got an advantage, maybe. It's probably a happy home, to be fair.
So we'll give a quick score update. Everybody's curious. Holmes versus Fair. Fair is currently leading 15-12. Miller versus Draffin. Miller is 17-9. And Pavey versus McElwain. Pavey is 17-12 up.
Thanks, Jude, for the... Yeah, thanks, Jude. Nice to hear from you. Hope everything's well. Jenny Holmes and Carol Fair are having a real battle over there. I know.
I saw Carol Fair here 2 nights ago,
Yeah.
and she killed. I like Hand Miles. I go way back, but she
Yeah,
killed Hand Miles in that game. She was on fire.
It's just bowls, isn't it,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Every game is different.
Yeah.
I've known Jenny, well, I know the Holmeses for many years,
Yeah.
probably 40 years, for family friends, yeah. So she's had a great tournament from Monbulk.
3. That's a great pickup for Zach.
Yeah,
That's gets him right back in the game now.
he wouldn't be too upset about losing the jack in the pit after getting a 3.
No.
Yeah. This will be interesting. Will Chris go ditch to ditch again?
Well, it's not his jack roll.
Oh, well, probably not then.
I couldn't help it, just nip that one straight
Yeah.
away.
Okay, cool. Focus Doolan. Yes, Zach is building some momentum.
We probably needed those few
Confidence.
drives he missed in, just get some rhythm with the draw, and
Do you ever think about that? Do you think, is it worth going for the drive and possibly losing my draw? Or do I take my medicine and go 1 down and just think about the next stand?
Look, it depends on the situation.
Great
and,
start, Zach.
I think there's factors. 1, your situation. 2, if you hit well or not, well, then that's a different story as well. Because some days you have it and some
Yeah.
days you don't,
Some days you see it like a basketball, other days it's like a pea.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's... I don't know, I just think as the head builds and how it unfolds, you play to the head.
They're all things you think about,
Yeah,
though, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Zach was thinking about changing hands there, but he's stuck with it. And why wouldn't he after his first bowl?
And he looks close-ish.
Yep, good weight. He'll just nudge in there. It's good.
Have you heard from your triples teammates today? I'm just curious.
We have a little group chat, but I've got to say they're pretty quiet. Or I think Kate will be on a plane about now.
Fair call.
Yeah. Yeah. Did you ever catch up? Did you happen to see them out and about?
Yeah, there was a few floating out and about last night. The BV staff has had a couple quiet drinks. And
Yeah.
there was...
Civilised.
Yeah,
Nice.
absolutely. Except for Matty. Like, he was a mess this morning. But anyway, that's...
You know.
Should we let him know that he fell asleep on the car ride from Traralgon to Morwell? It's only a 15-minute drive.
Oh. Must have been working very hard.
Great ball, Zach.
That's a great shot. He changed hands to play that too.
I reckon Chris will
Holding 2.
go quick here.
Yep, well, he's ditch weight. How's he look? Oh, 1 out.
1 out. Oh, could he have shot?
No, the marker indicated 2 to Zach, so theoretically he should still be holding 1.
Oh,
Can't see. Oh, Anya's so been watching Mama T. Soph and I had some time away, obviously, in the Vic squad, and that became my nickname. Like I don't already feel old enough, but thanks for that, girls. She played awesome all tournament, actually, Soph.
up-and-coming star of our game in the state.
In every possible way. On the green and off the green as well.
Yeah, she joined us in the commentary for a little stint yesterday
Yeah,
as well.
she's good in the commentary. I did a bit with her at the Vic Open in November as well.
Rightio. I reckon Zach would want to try and change
Yeah.
the head some way.
Yeah.
You know, like Chris could potentially go the 2 bowls. He could go the jack. He might look to try and trail it himself.
Interesting, playing the backhand.
He's tight-ish.
Hmm. Pat. Jenny Miller is actually up 17 over Andraff and 13. Chris playing weight here. He's got the jack. Interesting. Didn't go with it. Nobody's giving us any indication at the minute of what's going on.
So we're just waiting. The umpire's been called. We're just waiting on that. We'll give you a score update across the green. She's the Homes Fair one's tied it up even more. It's 14-15 in favour of Carol Fair. Even the Miller Draffin one is tightened up.
Yeah,
it's
just said that one. Yeah.
Yeah, 17-14.
Brad Pavey over Vinny, 18-12.
Brad's holding two real close ones at the moment.
Yeah.
I won't be surprised if Vinny gives a bit of a whack, to be honest.
Vinny's had a good tourney. I mean, obviously Brad has too. Here we go. Whoosh, just missed.
So technically, Brad could go at here. So the jack was
He
out.
could pot out, yeah.
So we got that part sorted, and now the umpire's been called to measure the bowls.
So they quite often call the umpire to respot the jack because it's really important that it's actually placed right on that bright spot. I saw this the other day and it became a debate.
I lost a national disability game, singles game, to this.
Yeah, right.
I hit the jack, killed it, and it got respotted. I didn't actually look at it.
They just placed it.
Yeah, and I didn't check. I actually played my next bowl. As soon as I played my next bowl, and then when I got down there and realised that I flopped in, it was going to be very close for shot. I went, oh no, the jack's not the right spot, and I reckon I'm going to lose the measure because of it.
And you can't. It's too late once you've played your bowl.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it's easy to just call the umpire when it's like that. Oh, Vinny's got it. Vinny just got an ultimate result from a drive there next door. He had to hit the target though, and it wasn't a big target.
Chris Morris asks the question, where does Chris Young play at? Well, he lives in Ararat, but technically plays for Shallenbar Golf, which is the golf club sort of just out of Ararat.
That's right, Jim. Sorry.
Yeah, we definitely, yep.
That's right, Jim. You put the jack just behind the tee or at the, I think it's the...
Front of the jack, back of the tee.
Yeah.
I was going to say, would Brad go the bowl or jack? And I reckon he has. He's stalking it still.
Too.
Oh, he's just made two.
Sorry for everyone at home. Brad Pavey has just potted he had literally a one bowl target there. He's potted the jack in the pit for two touches in the pit, which will put Brad to 20.
And I'm not sure Vinny can get,
He's got another bowl.
He's
Yeah,
got
he
another bowl.
has.
He's going to have to try and draw to the edge without flopping in.
Drawing to the plinth. That's a good drill.
All right, well, this umpire's still measuring our game here.
One to Zach.
One to Zach. It's now 15-13. He's won 3 ends in a row.
Bit of momentum.
Umpire's getting a workout here. He hadn't been called for probably the whole match, and all of a sudden he's been out 3 times the last 15-20 minutes.
Maybe he's been concentrating.
Interesting, Zach's changed the length up again. So they're both doing it, trying to swing some momentum other ways to get each other out of rhythm. In a reflection of that last end, Chris was probably stiff. If he gets the jack to stay in, he's actually made 3.
Yeah. Yeah. It was a good bowl. That's bowls though.
So, and,
Is this a bit of a different length for them?
yeah, it's a medium.
Yeah.
We've either played short or long all
Yeah.
match, from my memory.
You can sort of see that from their first 2 bowls. That's a good bowl coming in there from Zach.
So, there's a match next door, the Brad Pavey, Vinnie McElwain match, 20-12 so far. Adam, we actually haven't announced which final we're streaming yet, I don't believe. I'm just waiting for the range trust to get back to me on that one. So I can't announce that yet. When I do know, or when somebody does know, we'll let everybody know.
Yeah. As soon as we know, you'll know. There's no deliberate secret squirrels, I don't think.
No, it's just sometimes we deliberate a little bit. Yeah, Zach's a little stiff there.
Yeah.
Turns Chris's into the head.
Things like that happen and you just got to not let them affect your momentum, right? Because he's been on a bit of a
Correct.
roll.
Chris has drawn one.
Yeah.
I'm going to go out on a limb, and it's not much
Won't
of
be
a
short?
limb. No. No. I
Wouldn't have
think
thought so.
bit of weight here, I would assume. As he
Here we go.
goes.
It's off. He's got them both. Great shot. Both out.
Brilliant bowl.
Chris does have last bowl.
I said it's been his weapon this game. He said he had 2 or 3 ends where he missed a couple, but outside that, he's been brilliant with them in general.
Did you watch his last bowl last night?
No, I didn't see it.
The game.
Oh, who? Chris's last bowl?
Yeah.
Yeah,
yeah.
definitely saw that one.
To make 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, funny enough, he must have knew he already owned because he. Oh, we'll just call the bowl first.
Yeah, okay.
Let's have a look here. It's all on his speed.
Yeah, he's
I don't think he's there.
Oi, just a little bit short this time. It's probably 2 to Zach at this rate, I would have thought.
Yeah, so
And make it all square.
before he played that last bowl against J-By last night, he did the finger trick, to try and work out who had shot. It was very close because the marker definitely, it was Rodney again, I think,
Said it was a
close.
measure.
Yep.
Yeah, I was watching.
And
yep.
then when he let it go, when he sort of stalked it and got inside his own and sort of fist pumped, it kind of gave me the perspective that he must have knew by doing the fingers that he already had one, and that's why he really give it a good fist pump because he knew he had drawn the second shot and won the match. So
Spectacular finish. 15 all here. We've got a game. That's a massive weapon then from Zach to be able to take those 2 bowls out. Bang. And he's just drawn a hopper. Nearly.
So
Good start.
draws across the green. We'll start the far rink. Holmes 16, Carroll Fair 17. Very close still. Jenny Miller, I reckon, has just picked up 3 shots. Definitely 2. We'll have a look here as she's doing it. As Chris is coming down. And if it's 2, it's going to be 19-15. If it's 3, it's going to be 20-15 in her favour against Anne Draffen. Brad Pavey's currently 12. Vinnie McElwain is 12, but I think he's got at least 2, if not 3. And it was 3 for Jenny Miller, so that is 20-15. Good bowls by Zach. And Vinnie got 2, so it's 20-14. Interesting to see who's the first one off the green and into the final. Got some close matches here. People close
They're
to
all
going
good
out.
games,
Yeah,
actually,
yeah,
across
definitely.
the board. Has he got the legs?
Yeah,
has.
great bowl, Chris Young.
It's a great shot. Yep, under Chris. How much ice has he got in his veins?
Well, the thing I'm thinking about though is I don't think he will play weight with this one. Only the fact that it's probably a lot more vulnerability in terms of taking your own out, even if you got the shot bowl.
Yeah.
I reckon he's
Agreed.
going to try and tip his own bowl over and for
He
shot
could
on
actually
the draw.
take both of his bowls out if
Yeah.
he wasn't careful. It's better, yep. Got options this side. Back. Just hanging a little bit there. A little bit of weight.
Sarah Roger predicted extra end in this.
Shout out to Sarah. Hope she's feeling better. Sarah was meant to be in Fiji, but she's had to stay home because she's got an injury.
I did hear this. Chris is close.
He is close.
Doesn't
He's-
want to touch that now.
He does not. Crowd all takes a deep breath in. Yeah, Sarah's been watching every game.
Yeah, I know.
Intensely.
Always asks good questions, gives us good
Yeah,
insight.
yeah, she's good.
Yep. Love it.
I actually had a chat to her I don't know if it was yesterday or the day before, but missing you, Sarah.
Wanda, that is actually, when the umpire's called, is that included in the playing allocation time or extra time allowed? It's in the actual playing
included.
allocation. Yeah,
Yeah.
so no time is extended. It's just part of the game. We very rarely, we don't see many timeouts. I think from memory there was been 3 this week, 4 maybe. So out of however many games been played.
Timeouts.
Yeah,
What sort of things? What were the 4?
as in.
Timeouts
yeah,
for the
as in
games.
the
I thought
time
you
limits,
meant
yeah,
I thought you meant like a basketball timeout. You know, like I'm going to have a 10-minute break.
No.
Oh yeah, there wasn't many.
No,
were there?
I think there's 4 for the week from memory.
Yeah.
Right. Chris will be just looking to try and... He's had good weight, so just get his line right. So at this moment on the next ring, just for interest, because Brad Pavey's sitting on 20, he's currently holding 2.
I think Chris is probably happy to stay a little bit wide with that
Yeah,
shot.
there's probably some danger there. And I think Brad has drawn another one.
Just holding.
He's got 3, but he's not happy because he's put them all together, which means Vinny could get them all.
And Brad's game against last night against Matty Flapper, of course, was like the apprentice and the master.
We've actually said that a
Have you?
few times.
Oh, I was saying that off
No,
screen.
no,
It's pretty,
it was good. I love their embrace after the game too.
It's
you know.
really good.
Yeah.
It's great for sport.
All right, Chris gets 1. I better actually
you
stick
better.
to my duties and actually put it on the scoreboard. 16-15.
Yes, Faye, we are seeing a classy display of bowls, and hope you and Graham are well. So Vinny, really, what do you reckon he's going to do? Sorry.
I'm adamant he's going to try and hit it. You know, take a good draw shot to beat them 3. Oh, well, he might be just trying to arrive. Maybe he felt all 3 weren't going to go.
He's got it. He's got it.
That is a brilliant pressure bowl.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
Tris and I, we're going to vacate the chair because we're going to be joined by Matty Tobre again, and he's got a very special guest. So thanks,
Very
Tris.
important. Thanks, Josh.
Great draw there by Chris Young. Next door. seen an amazing match between Vinnie McElwain and Brad Pavey. I've got a feeling Vinnie might have a 3 or a 4 here. Is a 4, so that puts the score now 20 Brad Pavey, Vinnie McElwain 18. Joining me in the commentary this afternoon is the Latrobe City Council Mayor, Kelly O'Callaghan. How are you, Kelly?
I'm really well. Good to see you. How fantastic is this?
Oh, the excitement, the crowd, the cheers.
It's pretty good. It's a wonderful environment to be able to have not only those who are the die-hard followers of bowls, whether they've been participating or coming along as spectators, but also for our local community to be able to come in and see some elite level bowls here in our local community. It's been fantastic, but yeah, there's a lot of interest at the moment, a lot of people focused on what's happening in front of us.
Well, we're getting to the pointy end, Kelly. A few of our matches are getting close to being finished. I think we can see one that has been finished. That's Jenny Miller getting over Anne Draffin, 21-15. Tell us about how an event like this impacts the council and the local community.
Yeah, it's a great event to be able to look forward to, and particularly where we've entered into an arrangement to be able to support over multiple years, because we can plan ahead for what it is that we can offer to the visitors who are here as well. And in this instance, you know, we know that for each of these events, it's probably generating $4 million worth of income in the local community, and that's through accommodation, hospitality, but also the business involvement and just having people coming into the region as well. So there's some really significant economic benefits for us, which are very important for our local community, but more than anything else, the opportunity for our local bowls community to be able to engage in and also be part of this elite level play, as well as seeing young people in our local community come in, watching the juniors play as well, but also engage in watching some of the...
Did you see some of the under-18s in action?
Fantastic.
Yeah, aren't
really
they?
impressive. And I think it's good to be able to see how young people make their way to the sport, but also what that means for them as they head into those elite ranks and helping our other local kids find their way into the sport as well and engage in it, because there's certainly been a level of excitement and there's been a lot of young people locally come down and watch the games as well, which has been fantastic.
You make a really good point about some of the clubs seeing the elite players. I've seen a lot of the Morwell supporters just been amazed by the bowls that some of these top players can perform.
And it's been an exceptionally high standard, and I think what you can see when you bring players of this level together at a tournament of this scale is you can turn up on any day at any of the clubs, watch the play, and it's an exceptionally high standard. But not only that, I think what we're finding too, which you would know this, spending a time with the players and even those who are supporting and their family members, that there's a real openness to sharing with others how they got involved, what that looked like for them, and also what it is that bowls means to them day to day back in their own community. So it's great to be able to see that sharing that's been happening as well in our local communities. That's been fantastic.
You're hearing a lot of cheers.
There is a lot going on.
Next door, Vinnie has just drawn 2 shots. Brad still has 2 bowls to go.
Just about got to hold your breath, don't you?
Now the big question is, have you put a bowl down before, Kelly?
I have, and it was probably not something that anyone would be celebrating, that's for sure. One of my colleagues did say I was a little heavy on the bias.
Yeah, that's generally new bowlers tend to be a little bit heavy with their weight.
I think it's all the enthusiasm matched with a lack of skill.
What have you got coming up in the local community on the calendar?
Yeah, we've certainly got lots of things that have been happening in terms of our events at the moment. We've got the NR Sculpture Exhibition, which have a lot of people travelling down to. We've had a lot of sporting events this weekend, which has been fantastic. We've got inline hockey coming up over Easter, and there's always a huge crowd that head down for that, for anyone that's interested in that. Yeah, look, it gets pretty intense. You want to stay away from the edge of the glass on that one, people bouncing off the place, but it's fantastic. And the Victorian table tennis champs are coming up for us.
Is that a Traralgon table tennis?
Yeah, we're going to open up the Gippsland Regional Indoor Sports Stadium, which is what we use for, basketball activities. We've also got badminton in there as well. It's a multi-purpose facility, newly built, so it's a nice one to be able to use that show court and all those places, but it's adjacent to a previous basketball stadium. We have lots of cheering going on now.
It's hard to concentrate. Chris Young just drew a great ball with his last. Vinny, I think, had a chance to draw for 3, but he's only holding 2.
Certainly got the crowd on the edge of its seats.
Well, Vinny's the hometown legend, Kelly.
I've been hearing a little bit about Vinny and what
The
he's been up
V-man.
to. Certainly got some followers, and he's got a big crowd cheering him on.
Yeah, Vinny bowls for Terrelgan Bowls Club.
Traralgon have had a great opportunity to be able to host everybody the past 10 days as well, and they've really been celebrating that.
All right, Chris Young. Zach's clapping his thigh here. Great bowl, Chris Young.
The play's great, the crowd reaction's even better sometimes, isn't it?
So if we see 2 yellow paddles here, Kelly, that means scores are going to be level.
Oh dear.
Oh,
They're there.
So that means no matter what happens on this next end, we will get a winner in that match to make the final.
It's a lot of pressure, isn't it?
Oh. 20 all. Brad Pavey, Vinny McAway. How's Zach looking with this? Oh.
And the facilities, I think, have been one that the players have appreciated as well. We've had a few of those wet weather days in there that weren't the best, and it was great to be able to get indoors.
Normal to get this much
We
rain?
do fantastic weather, don't we? We do extremes of weather. We like to mix it up a bit, but yeah, got a bit hairy earlier in the week, bit damp.
I think this might be a 2 to Zach. It is. So I'm just getting the scoreboard fixed up, Kelly.
All good.
So it's
We need to
17
have
all
that
here.
right.
First to 21. And next door, sudden death. It's 20 all. On the far rink, we've got another close game.
But isn't it great to be able to see the level of play get to the point where it's so close as you're heading into finals?
Talking about close. Zach, great starter there. Brad Pavey draws shot. Vinny probably a metre behind. Brad probably a mat width in front. Cheers have come on, Vinny. Oh, it's close.
Some of the crowd down the end finding it a little bit hard to contain their excitement. I think they're Vinny supporters.
Yep, the maroon will generally be Terrelgan. Great bowl there. Chris Young having a run. How's he looking? Oh. Two main sort of shots in lawn bowls, Kelly. There's the draw, so look to get really close. Right line, right weight, or they go hard. Next door, Brad Pavey draws shots. Chris going again. This is the drive, Kelly.
Oh.
How's he looking?
Oh. There's not much in it.
Do you think he'll go again, Kelly?
Yeah. Yeah.
keep you informed next door. Vinny just putting his bowl down.
Following it down with a lot of anticipation, I'd suggest.
I think just a bit high.
Oh.
Zach, 2 and a measure, that is Kelly.
He's checking in with the coach, is he?
No, that's our marker.
Nice.
Yep. So we have in a singles game, we
Yep.
have a marker that will tell the players the situation.
Okay, so that gives him an indication of where things are.
Yeah.
Great.
Next door, Brad Pavey. Misses high, but holding game. Both players with 1 bowl to come. You back in Vinny to draw it, Kelly?
Yeah, absolutely. Hometown advantage.
We're going to hear it if he draws it.
Might need to share the mics
Yeah,
down.
we might
if
need a
he's-
new roof.
They've only just put it on.
Right.
So do you think there's a hometown advantage in any of this stuff?
Oh, for sure, for sure.
The crowd
Crowd
behind you?
support is everything in these sort of games. That's a 2 to Zach. 2 2s in a row. Makes it 19-17. Let's see how Vinny goes. Needs to draw this
Yeah, got it, Vinny.
to force Brad to play his last bowl. He doesn't like it. Kelly,
Didn't look too happy. Turned his back on it.
I think we might have our first finalist. Brad Pavey.
Ooh.
Great sportsmanship, Kelly, isn't it?
Absolutely,
Big
it's
hug in the
fantastic.
middle of the green.
But I think it's the sort of thing that we've seen over the last 10 days is such a level of support by all of the players, but also encouragement by the spectators as well. And it's certainly accessible in terms of other people's participation too. And we've seen that across all levels of play, whether it's the juniors coming in or all abilities, opportunities across game days. It's a great sport for anyone to be able to participate in if they're looking for a new sport to try and pick up, or if they're coming off a sport that they're finding is a little bit more challenging for them and they're wanting to get engaged in something different. It's a really great accessible opportunity for them.
I'm a big believer that our sport is perfect for the ex-sporties, so the ones who have played, you know, like cricket, footy for years and looking for a new sport.
Absolutely. And people are certainly doing that, and we're seeing that, and eventually we'll stop saying post-COVID, but people are looking for new opportunities, new things to do, and often things that are associated with clubs and other elements of being able to gather together again, and it's certainly attractive from that perspective.
Great bowl, Chris Young gets a clap from Zach. We have another game that's just finished, Kelly, down the end. Carol Fair makes her way to the final, 21-18 over Jennifer Holmes. Zach looking to get shot bowl, gets it. He's close to, he's holding game at the moment.
You think he's got it?
Well, Chris has still got 2 bowls to come. This is his first.
It's the anticipation.
Don't think it's there, Kelly.
Nope.
All right, real opportunity for Zach to close this out and meet Brad Pavey in the final.
So have they met many times before in finals play?
We'll have to do our research.
We'll check. We'll check with the statisticians on
Yeah.
whether or not there's a history.
Zach changing hands.
That's a skill in itself, really, isn't it?
So in our sport, Kelly, there's times when you want to attack and there's times you want to defend. So Zach's just played a defensive shot there, getting the back bowl. Pressure now on Chris.
a long walk back with everybody watching you.
Well, I'll tell you, someone who's not watching is Zach behind.
He's gone for a sit down.
Yeah.
Having a bit of a quiet moment at the back of the stand there.
All right, Chris needs to draw this to stop Zach going to the final. How's he looking, Kelly? Oh, he's got shots.
Oh, nice.
Zach's just...
up. Oh, Zach.
Great clap from Zach.
Yeah, it's great
One to Chris
sportsmanship
Young.
out there.
Question about did Carol win? Yes, Carol Fair is now into the final to play Jenny Miller.
So you got your finalists.
And we've got one already for the men. We're looking for our second one. So the council committed for us to have this for 5 years. Kelly?
Yeah.
What are we looking forward to in the years to come?
I think you tend to find that you get a bit of a build coming off the first year. You know, it's a new location for everybody to come down to. They'll get used to what it's like to be in the region. Have spent a bit of time with us now. I think we'll see even greater numbers in the years to come. I think also the clubs have been exceptional in hosting everybody, but it really does give a chance for the volunteers to get their skills up. So for some of them, it'll be their first time in supporting this event as well. So there'll be things that they'll want to do to further expand on what they're offering in terms of the other 21 clubs that were in the mix.
Yeah, they were a little bit nervous, the
Very
host
nervous.
clubs, but they embraced it so well.
I think part of it is about that expectation of wanting to do well. You know, clubs are very proud of what it is they do. They're proud of their sport, but also of their capacity to host people. And they want everyone to enjoy their opportunity of being here. So being able to do that exceptionally well and give everyone, you know, not only the good standard of play and facility and hospitality that they expect when they come to an open of this scale, but also the chance to know that they're welcoming community and enjoy other things that are happening over that 10-day period is really important too. So already I know some of them are talking about what they'll do even bigger and better next year. So I think it's certainly going to grow, and we'll see more people as word spreads that it's a great opportunity to come down to Gippsland, but also get involved in the Vic Open. And I think we'll just see it was pretty big. It's been a significant crowd and some exceptional play, but I think it's going to go from strength to strength in the coming years. I'm really excited about it.
The word's got out. New format, new location is working.
Good to try new things as well, and I think what we have seen is, you know, that different model of being able to get out to even some of our rural clubs who absolutely thoroughly enjoyed hosting the events. But then if we do get some of that inclement weather, get in here to the bigger venues, get indoors, still let play continue, and people get to really mix it up a bit as to what they're experiencing. And it also just gets them in to other areas of the community they might not otherwise have the chance to see. So it's a great way for everyone to participate.
We're getting close to finishing here, Kelly. Zach 19, Chris Young on 18.
Pressure's
was
on.
Holding game last end. Chris draws shot. How's Zach looking, Kelly?
He's looking a bit nervous.
So the
Not looking as relaxed as he did.
Rod with the paddles has one yellow paddle up, which that means Chris Young's holding one. You got to remember now, both players can get game. So if Chris gets a 3, he'll be making the final. To meet Brad Pavey.
How do you think Chris is going to go?
On this bowl?
He's certainly focused.
He's been focused all game. It's been a great game.
And with such a large crowd around too.
Calls of go. All right. Zach, one down on the head. If he touches Jack here, Kelly, and gets it over, he's making the final.
All right, we're ready.
No, he's lining up for a run, Kelly. I didn't see this. Looking for Jack or bowls.
Not quite what he had
Looking
planned.
for the bowl. All right. Just a one, that makes it 19 all. All in to make a prediction. Oh, sorry, Kelly. We just got a time clock check there. So we've got 11, just over 11 minutes to go. So these games are timed, Kelly, 2.25 hours. When you get such a close game like this and on a quick surface.
Every minute counts.
Yes, so they'll get their 10-minute warning.
So even more pressure than they already had. I think they were already feeling it.
Some people can't watch.
Sort of hands up, look through the fingers, half watching.
There's a little bit of a call for extra end, question mark. So if it's level at the end of the time, we go to an extra end.
Okay.
You're finding out a lot about our sport, aren't you?
This is good. I think they gave up on me when they got me to bowl the first few times, but I'm now picking up on the subtleties of things. I don't think it's necessarily going to improve my capacity any, but...
Yeah, our sport is, I believe it's a sport that people can pick up quite quickly, but takes years to master.
Yeah.
Both these players have been playing for a long time.
And there certainly is that level of social engagement in the sport that underpins people's interest, which has certainly been evident over the last 10 days. People who've been here to watch play when they're social bowlers, but they're wanting to see that elite level of competition as well.
Calls have come on Zach. Chris holding shot and a measure for second. Deep breaths from Zach as he chases his third bowl down. Calls have come on Zach from behind. He's drawn it, Kelly.
Oh.
Now Kelly, so Zach will have last bowl.
Okay.
You can see it on the bank near the number 9.
Mm-hmm.
Zach likes this.
He's happy.
No, he's not happy.
No, he's not? Is it just... Oh.
No, that wasn't a clap of
That
happy.
wasn't a
That
clap
was a
of
clap
happy?
of that's a great bowl
No.
and you're breaking my heart. Call of get rid of shot. You've got second, you might get 2. How's he looking?
Oh.
What's our time check like, Brad?
Oh, tight.
Jack just needs to be delivered in order to play that end. So Chris Young gets a 1. That's 3 in a row. Needs one more to win.
You think he can do it?
Oh, look, they've both bowled exceptionally in this game. Either player can reach the 21. As you saw, Zach was holding game before.
Could go either way.
It's been 2 amazing semi-finals. For those people who've just joined us, Brad Pavey's already into the final. An amazing game against Vinnie McElwain, 21-20. Jenny Miller, who's called Grandma, has made the final, 21-15 over Anne Draffin. And Carol Fair has made the final, 21-18 over Jennifer Holmes.
And huge crowd still hanging around to be able to see all their favourite players in the mix, which is brilliant.
The final will be up straight after this. Not quite sure who'll be on the live stream. We'll let you know.
It'll be a quality team.
Oh, it's going to be a great final if this is the standard of the semi. Okay. There's the sportsmanship between the two players. Just a
That is fantastic.
low 5 from Zach.
Maybe it's just a tribute to how much they enjoy the sport as much as the competition, isn't it? It's good to be able to see that. And it's a fantastic role model for any of the juniors that are coming through as well.
Holding. Oh.
Just keeps getting better, doesn't it?
Oh, yes. Dean Curran asking about the Barb Gilbert medal that was already awarded earlier to Thor Shannon.
How far short is the bowl out near your foot?
This is checking. Bit of enthusiasm out there.
Unhappy with not being wide enough. Now Kelly for a new bowler. Chris's shot bowl is a toucher, so it will be alive if it goes in the ditch.
Okay.
That won't be alive. It'll be pulled out. I agree with you, Barb. 2 amazing semi-finals.
Has Barb been following all the way through?
Well, Barb Gilbert just gave out her award before, so she came down the other day.
Fantastic. But even that opportunity for everyone to be able to engage on the live stream is fantastic as well.
Do you have a lot of your other sports getting live stream now?
We're seeing more of it now,
Yep.
and I think it's because we're wanting to ensure that accessibility, but we're also finding in the lead up to Commonwealth Games that more sports are being encouraged to do live sites for some of their other activities as well. So we've got the facilities in place for a number of those sorts of options now, and some big screens in other areas. So it's good to be able to see that, because it does give an option for communities to share in the sports that they're doing, but also join in on sports that are further away that we wouldn't otherwise have the option. But certainly in the lead up to Commonwealth Games, our focus on sports being enhanced quite a bit, and looking at how we interact with the sports that we're hosting, and also potentially how we attract other sports that may take place as either demonstration or aligned events that would come into play in 2026 as we lead up to bringing people into the local community for the Comms Games out in regional Victoria.
So Chris playing a strategic bowl there, because the way that Jack's angled on the shot bowl, it could go over that way and stay in the ditch. Big bowl here, Kelly.
Bit of pressure. So I've enjoyed the hospitality while they're getting ready.
Let's see what he does. He's drawing. No, just a little bit over. How's he looking, Kelly?
Oh. A lot of appreciation from the crowd.
Oh, what an amazing match.
I think everyone enjoyed that.
Chris Young making his way now to the final.
Got some great finals ahead.
Yes, we do. Commiserations to Zach Waning. What an amazing match.
Thanks for the chat.
Thank you so much,
Yeah,
Kelly.
let you
Great
hand
to
over
have
to
you
some
on.
of your expert friends as well, because I'm not going to be able to keep up with the pace of the final, and I wouldn't want to be getting in the way of a great conversation.
No.
But lovely to talk to you.
Great to speak to you, Kelly.
Thanks for being here
All
in
the
Gippsland.
best. We'll see you later, everyone.
Bye.
The Morwell Bowling Club is your place for fun and food. Come and try bowls and make new friends. Have coffee or bring the family for lunch or dinner. The Morwell Bowling Club. Visit us today on Hazelwood Road.
It's time to experience the wonder of Gippsland's West. Amongst the rolling hills of Mount Baw, discover a tranquil green wonderland where spectacular forest waterfalls flow under mountain ash canopies. Explore historic fern-lined townships dotted amongst vast rolling farmlands. Enjoy artisan wineries and providors selling locally grown delights and the best that Baw has to offer. Gippsland. All kinds of wonder.